Diane Blumstein and others versus Michael Pence and others, United States Supreme Court docket number 16-907. I received a call from a colleague here in Indianapolis who was asking me about a different case, and then she mentioned she'd been contacted by some people in Massachusetts, and they had a case before the United States Supreme Court challenging the 2016 election. And I said, what are they doing? And she started describing it, and I said, did they send you any paperwork? And she said, yes. And I said, could you send me copies of the paperwork? And she said, well, sure. No, I'm not going to do that. And I said, why not? She said, because I know you and you'll kill yourself on this case, and I'm going to save you from yourself. And I said, look, I'm going to spend 12 to 14 hours tracking this down. It's not privileged, is it? And she said, no. And I said, then just send me the paperwork. So she did, and I looked at it, and I thought it looked pretty cool, what was being alleged. And so I figured to call somebody. So I called Diane Blumstein. And Diane answered, and because she's a pro se litigant, so I can contact her. And I said, hi, this is Mark Small. I'm calling from Indianapolis. And she said, yeah. And I said, I know what you guys are doing in front of the Supreme Court, and I think it's really cool. And she said, well, thank you. And what do you do for a living? And I said, oh, I'm a lawyer. And she said, okay, well, in what area do you practice? And I said, primarily appeals. And she said, do you do federal appeals? And I said, well, I'm admitted to 4 circuits, the United States Court of Appeals and the United States Supreme Court. And she said, would you be interested in representing us on this case? And I said, oh, gee whiz, I hadn't thought about that. And then 2.5 hours later, I had been vetted, and I was counsel on this case. And I've gotten to know the people in the case. I know that they refused to accept the results of the elections. They had figured out on their own that the Supreme Court was the way to go. Dr. Kelly Senholz and Kirsten Elaine Martin are the 2 organizers. All these women have worked really hard, but Kelly and Kirsten have managed to organize and focus folks all the way from the beginning through today, and they're continuing to do it. They're tremendous, and this case is important. I think people should believe in it and should do what they can to help us and get this election, all the things done that should be done about it done. Diane Blumstein and others versus Mike.